Hi, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this short podcast today. On behalf of cPacket, my name is Iain Kenney, and I'm the head of product management here at cPacket, based in the US. And I also have the privilege of introducing Vicente, but I'll get him to tell him about himself in a short second. And then we also have Arash here as well, who will also introduce himself. This is a series of podcasts which are trying to get us all to think a little bit bigger, a little bit more differently about everything in the space of cybersecurity, network monitoring, network analytics, observability, all of those big words that we are familiar with. But it's a great chance to be here today. So anyway, let's start with Vicente. Vicente, do you want to introduce yourself briefly, and then we'll jump on to Arash.
Sure. My name is Vicente Rodriguez. I'm the end-to-end system lead in the office of the CTO. I'm a data wrangler, and that's how I connected with Arash.
Perfect. Arash, maybe you could introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit
Uh,
about what's going on.
Thank you, Iain. This is Arash Habibi Lashkari. I'm a Canada Research Chair in Cybersecurity and Associated Professor at York University in Toronto. Also, I'm the founder and director of the Behaviour-Centric Cybersecurity Center at York University. Thank you for having me here.
Wow, that's great. So I think before we started, you said you'd graduated software engineering back maybe mid 90s, things like that. Um, Maybe you could share a little bit about your experiences both in academia and industry that have kind of helped you think about cybersecurity and why you've kind of a little bit ended up where you've ended up so far.
Yeah, thank you, Iain. Actually, uh, I can say that working in industry gave me, in somehow, a lot of hands-on experience with the real-world challenges. And on the other hand, when I started to work in academia, last 20 years, I should say, 20 plus, provided me the opportunity of diving deeply into the research and also in somehow exploring the innovation solutions to those challenges that I faced in actually industry. So this dual perspectives has been in somehow invaluable because I can say that industry taught me practicality, urgency, but from the other side, the academia encouraged me actually to think criticalities and also long-term actually aspect of the challenges. So by amalgamating these two perspectives, I think I had a clear actually approach to work on the cybersecurity, especially with the long background that I have on the software engineering and also data communication, together.
Okay, well that's great. Now, definitely something that I think we've probably all seen, and certainly our listeners and watchers have seen, is how cybersecurity has kind of evolved over time. Maybe you could highlight, Arash, maybe we'll start with you, but certainly Vicente and I will chip in. What's some of the significant changes that you've observed in cybersecurity kind of since those early days?
Yeah, if I want to start from my actually graduation, so we didn't have something such buzzword cybersecurity, but early 1990, I can say that the security focused more on the securing of individual systems or some actually basic password, for example, protections, and the threats were in somehow straightforward, with less sophistications.
Right.
But over the years, by explosion of the internet, raising the interconnection actually systems, or increasing the IoT devices, Internet of Things, have dramatically increased this type of the issues that we face. I should say we are facing a new attack surface. So
Right.
threats in somehow became more advanced, shifting from the script kiddies or basic viruses to the organized cyber crimes, or for example, to the state sponsors attacks. Even the zero-day attack and vulnerabilities are coming up. And just imagine that on top of them, we are integrating AI nowadays. in both offensive and also defensive strategies. So this is going also to actually introducing a new level of attack surface for us, and a new level of complexity is coming up. And please add to all of them this type of diversity that is coming from different disciplines that is going to force us to use some more actually aspects on cybersecurity instead of stay just in the technical part, such as the privacy concern, regulatories, laws, ethicals, and others. So this is some actually changes that I faced through the last 2 decades.
There's quite a lot of change hiding in some of those statements, Arash, I would say. But Vicente, anything that you've kind of noticed, obviously, as you self-professed data wrangler, right? You've been kind of working in a lot of these areas over the time. What would be some of the things that you've also seen in this whole kind of as cybersecurity has evolved, even the name itself, possibly?
Yeah, I mean, I guess building up on what Arash said, I mean, there's a big technical component to cybersecurity. But there's also, with all this hyper connectivity, everybody has, there's a funny text that you get, emails and whatnot. There's a social component to it, a social psychological component. And, good or bad, I've seen particularly, elderly folks, sometimes they're prime victims for this sort of thing, that they'll give the keys to the kingdom very easily without question. And I think this thing of looking at the problem as in a holistic way, technical plus more, I think is very important.
No, I think you've both made excellent points, and I'm sure we'll dig into a little bit more on some of these things in the coming discussion. But the thing that I found most fascinating just recently is I noticed, obviously I come from the UK originally, right? I got a little bit more interested in that market. There's one of the telephone providers or service providers has introduced a service that allows people who are concerned about kind of phishing kind of attacks, people calling, they can forward it. I can't remember, it's the AI Granny or something like that, some kind of service where you can effectively forward the call to that, and that service is able to kind of handle the issues. And as I say, I think when we're having to come to that level, it's we haven't come in a good direction. We've come in progress to help protect people who aren't so familiar with some of the technologies. But it is pretty amazing that we need a service like that. As I say, sounds like a great service, though, to be honest. But it's kind of interesting. Now, I think one of the things you said earlier, Arash, I wonder if you could expand on it a bit more. One of the things that you've been centrally involved with as a founder is the Understanding Cybersecurity series, or UCS. Could you maybe explain a little bit behind that vision and what that initiative is about, and where you're going with that whole system, that Understanding Cybersecurity series?
Thank you. So I think, as actually you realize, staying more than 2 decades in this field, so I try to summarize or compile that what did I face on the last 2 decades. I can say that always I observed a critical gap on the knowledge sharing, on the collaboration between the researchers, practitioners, industries, end users, and others. So this gap in somehow starkly constraints with the attacker sides, because they always were involved on the really very close actually collaboration. And I can say that they have so many platforms that they are going to share everything with each other easily, sharing the tools, sharing the vulnerability that they found, even the newest strategies or models, that we never faced that one in our side. So the lack of this communication and the knowledge mobilization actually in somehow forced me to think that how we can tackle this challenge to have, or in somehow achieving, a cybersecurity resiliency. So UCS was born 2022 from this realization that, okay, let's think about that how we can bridge the gaps, these gaps, or these actually gaps that I highlighted by creating a transformative cybersecurity awareness and knowledge mobilization actually platform. So in somehow, I'm thinking that how we can move beyond and above the basic awareness for actually fostering the cybersecurity vigilance. So
Right.
let's think about a proactive mindset that encourage a culture of cybersecurity across the diverse fields, the different audiences, multidisciplines. So this is the main actually idea that helped me to create this program 3 years ago.
Wow. I mean, certainly that term knowledge mobilization program is such a it's such a powerfully evocative phrase because the idea is that a lot of these, as you said, things are over there or they're over there and they're kind of not kind of joined up. And in terms of some of the kind of core components that you've been focusing on so far within the UCS program, what would be some of those that maybe even folks listening to this would be interested in knowing more about?
Okay, perfect. So till now, because at first we just have three actually packages, but now we have six packages
Right.
in 3 years, including books, analyzers, data sets, workshops, blogs, and actually contests. So I can talk about each of them a little, that how these actually six key packages are helping us in this knowledge mobilization program.
Great.
So the books work on the fundamental knowledge side. So they are advancing the insights into the various cybersecurity domains, from cybersecurity law to healthcare to a smartphone to transportation to DeFi, decentralized finance to fintech. So till now, we actually publish 6 books that you can see here. And thanks to the Springers, actually, as a publisher,
Six
supported us.
real books by the looks of things, Arash. There's some
Yeah,
serious
exactly, real
content right
books. And
there.
another 5 are in the actually list for the next 2 years. So the books
Wow.
are this fundamental knowledge. But this is not enough for us, because this is just the theory part that managers, even researchers or students or CTO, CEO, and the others can actually read these books to get the fundamental knowledge. But to make it more practical, we came with some other series. So the first practical or technical package that we provided was the analyzers. Analyzers are the open source tools that we actually developed, and is going to be used for more information extraction or data analysis
Right.
in a different data sources from such as network traffic, logs, documents, operating systems, or even the applications or others. So these are empowering the researchers and industry designer and developers to actually design and develop better solutions. Because all these actually analyzers are the open source and are available in our GitHub account. The third
Okay.
package is the datasets. So whenever you have a solution, especially in these days, AI-based, AI-powered solutions, so maybe you need to train them or you want to test your solutions. You know that in cybersecurity, finding the real-world data is really difficult, especially for the privacy issues that we are actually facing here.
Yeah.
So we decided to create cybersecurity datasets in a different fields, not only to help the developers or actually designers to train their model, but also to industries to test and evaluate their solutions that actually already prepared. And then to make it more practical for the people to use, we started to actually conduct a series of workshops. So the workshops are helping us to have more interactions, and actually, I can call them hands-on workshops, because the participants is going to be more involved in the type of, I don't know, simulated environment that we have. a lot of actually hacking scenarios or attack scenarios. So we are focusing on the challenges, the targeted challenges for a specific industry, and then we try to teach them how the hackers actually acting here, what are the type of the abnormal activities that is happening here, and then at the end, what are the best practices that you can actually follow to tackle these issues. But all of them are, again, more technical. But let's think about the lay people. What can we do for the other actually members in this actually community, to K to 12, to the seniors? So what is the best material that we can prepare? So for each of these solutions that we work, either is a book or is an analyzer, a data set, workshops, and others, we are trying to have a simple version and easy to understand versions, which we call it blogs. So these blogs, again, are in somehow giving a clear actually recommendations or best practices to the lay people when they are facing the cybersecurity issues in a different field, such as smartphone, healthcare, I don't know, transportation, smart cars, IoT devices, and others. And the last package here is a which actually we just run the first version of that one in 2024, is a combination of art and cybersecurity. So we call it Cybersecurity Cartoon Awards.
Okay.
It's a contest that we are asking the cartoonist to come and help us to teach, the kids, even I can say from elementary to high school, K to 12, to understand the cybersecurity concepts and issues with the artworks. So if it's possible, I can share my screen and show you the result of the first actually contest, if you like.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it, Arash. This sounds. I mean, I'm sure the blogs and the workshops are amazing, but if we've got some pictures, that's always a win, right? So.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to share my screen if I can, and then.
Perfect.
Okay. Please let me know if you can see the screen.
It is just coming up. Yep, the screen is there. Well, that looks like an incredible image just to start us off with. Oh, look at this one. Are these pictures going to be displayed somewhere, Arash?
Actually, these were the top 3 actually artworks that received the first and second and third prize.
Right.
And these are the honorary mentions that are another actually 6 top artworks that we received.
Okay, great. It's also quite exciting to see that I think the country names are indicative of a very global presence. It's not just in Canada or in the US, for example. You seem to have covered, shall we say, the world, which is really great. This is a global problem
Yeah,
in
exactly. So
cybersecurity.
I can summarize that we received more than 250 artworks, cartoons, from 120 plus cartoonists across the world. And in the first year, we had actually participants from 27 countries.
Right.
So, and each year, this actually contest is going to be conducted in a different countries, supported by the different universities.
Right.
And we are going to have a gallery exhibition for 3 to 5 actually days to present the top 30 or 50 actually artworks that have been selected by the jury committee for the schoolers, different actually elementary, middle, or high schoolers. We are inviting them from the different school to come to actually the gallery exhibition and see all these artworks. And the artist and also the jury committee is going to explain to them that what's the meaning of each actually these artworks that we received.
Wow. Well, Arash, that's definitely a little bit of a diversion there from the conversation, but that is such a powerful way of connecting with people. I especially like the Little Red Riding Hood one that popped up on the screen with the wolf's mouth there. I thought that was That's
That
very
was
indicative
number
of what
one.
kind of
The
well, as I'm saying, it just kind of triggers all kinds of things in your mind when you're used to that as a kind
yeah.
of a child's story, but in reality, that's highlighting the serious nature of it. Anyway, so yeah, that's really great. All of those 6 areas, and not to bury the lead too much. I know that's one of the reasons that you connected up with cPacket originally, is the data set generation of working on those kinds of areas, right? So that's been an exciting piece as well. So that's as I say, definitely appreciate working with you and the team. So that is excellent. So in terms of you said you're roughly 3 years into the kind of the UCS program. What has been some of the impact so far that you've personally seen or you've heard from members in the broad community that you're trying to address?
Uh, Actually, I can highlight 2 or 3 actually stats here that have been used. One of them was the analyzers that we developed. We had more
Right.
than 9 analyzers till today, and we received more than 500 branches or
Oh,
forks
wow.
from these actually analyzers in GitHub. It shows that more than 500 institutes, research centers, universities actually started to have the branch from these actually solutions and apply them, to the different solutions that they are working or different projects that they are working.
Right.
Another one I can highlight the number of requests for downloading or datasets. We receive more than 200,000 requests till now for downloading the
200,000 requests.
yes, for more than around 20 plus actually data sets that we created in
Wow.
the last years. And also I can highlight the workshops because I started to actually deliver this workshop or the knowledge mobilization session in a different annual events in a different industries, from insurance companies to the school boards to, I don't know, transportation associations or others. So I already delivered 20 talks or 20 workshops on the last actually 2.5 years, and we share this information with more than 2,500 researchers, actually managers or technicians. So these are the some stats that I can share with you that how UCS have been actually used by the by the community.
No, that's really impressive for you and the whole team, Arash. So that is
Thank you.
definitely good. I think we will obviously post the GitHub repository link in the show notes, the description of the video, etc. So folks can who are interested in that can jump
Thank
in
you.
there. So in terms of just hardly wrapping up, we've got a few areas still to cover, but in terms of things like cybersecurity awareness and vigilance, what are some of the strategies that the UCS employs to help build sustainable security culture, kind of across all of these different backgrounds that people are coming to this from? You said managers, you've obviously got seniors and school boards and transport, a lot of people from different backgrounds. What are some of those ways that you're trying to focus on that sustainable security culture?
Yeah, briefly speaking about this transition. So moving from cybersecurity awareness to
Yeah,
cybersecurity vigilance
right,
requires, fostering a proactive and deeply security culture.
right,
So UCS tries to handle this actually transition by a multi-faceted approach to engage not only the individuals, but also the teams, actually the centers. So I can say the different group with the different professional backgrounds. For example, in UCS, we are in somehow prioritize the customized knowledge dissemination by accessible resources that we have, that I told you, including the datasets, blogs, open source analyzers, books, all of them are publicly available.
right.
On the other side, I can say the interactive workshops that we are running, and also the contest, which is the mix of the art and also cybersecurity. So these are going to give more actually hands-on learning to the community. Also, I can talk about the collaboration part, that we have this collaborative actually engagement by in somehow bringing together all the researchers, the educators, the industry members, the managers, even lay people, the students from K to 12, university level, college level, all of them coming to the group. So UCS is going to bridge this gap between the different groups instead of just focusing on the one specific targeted groups. And in somehow also I can add that we are working on the sustainability of this actually transformation, because we are trying to have for example, the multi-languages.
Right.
So, for example, for the competition that we run, it came for the 3 different languages. Or the blogs, we are trying to have the different languages for the blogs that we are actually releasing every month. So these are going to give the opportunity for the sustainability of this actually transformation from the awareness to the vigilance part.
Okay, no, that's very helpful indeed, Arash, very helpful. And certainly doing multi-language is really important. As I say, as I commented earlier, this is very much a global phenomenon, right? So
Yes.
it's trying to continue to expand the reach of the program is very important. Now,
So
I
we
mentioned
have
this.
international partners that
Okay,
coming from
great.
different countries, from Spain, from France, from actually UK, So they are coming from different countries that they are helping us for this part of the actually the multi-language actually products that we want to produce based on the content that we prepare. So whenever we have the book, or we have, I don't know, the blogs, even the some workshops that we are running, or material that we are preparing for the new curriculum that we are designing for the colleges and universities. So we are sharing that one through the actually the friends that we have across the world.
Nope, that's great. Just a couple of questions. Maybe this also we can bring in Vicente to this one. The idea of industrial collaboration. You mentioned your experiences in industry, and then obviously transferring that into academia. And now you're working on a very practical program through the UCS to kind of take a lot of this knowledge back into the community, right? Not necessarily directly to kind of super high-tech companies, but really trying to expand that cybersecurity vigilance approach. How has the partnership with industry been valuable? I mean, I suppose I'm a little self-serving coming from cPacket. I know we work together, but what are some of the benefits there on both sides? And maybe Vicente, you can talk about some of the benefits of us working with York University and other externals as well. So, any kind of thoughts on that, Arash? Maybe you could go first and tell us what the value has been there, or where you see the best collaboration.
Yeah, thank you. That's really one of the most important points. So I said we want to move from the cybersecurity awareness to the cybersecurity vigilance. So in this actually transformation, so we need to think about what are the real world scenarios that we need to tackle. So from the academia, we have a deeply understanding of the problems, the theoretical side, but we need to have the industry partners to bring actually these real world issues for us.
Right.
So, for example, the one that you mentioned for the cPacket, that I'm proud of actually this collaboration, and it was a pleasure to working with this actually top company in the States on the traffic analysis. So one of the projects that we worked was the network traffic analysis, and cPacket is one of the top actually traffic analyzer companies in the world level. So now we want to see that what are the main issues and concerns that the customers are facing, and how we can be involved in the process of designing the new solution and improve it.
Right.
So working on the DDoS attack was the first project that we had with the cPacket, and now we have another actually project for another 2 years that is completely in the new topic. So maybe one day we are going to have a podcast about that one also.
I look forward to it, Arash. I look forward to it already.
Thank you so much. So on the DDoS side, I can say that we studied a broad, different techniques that the attackers using for actually running and conducting the DDoS attacks. And we try to run and in somehow, develop the packages and run them one after another in the cloud platform. And we created a new data set, which was actually BCCC cPacket cloud-based data set. And I can share with you that by releasing that one in actually less than 1 year, till now, I have more than 170 actually plus requests just for downloading that specific data sets.
Oh, great.
Which shows that people already started to use that one to test, to train, to analyze, to evaluate their solutions. And on top of that one, we became as a co-developed on the advanced detection actually algorithm with cPacket for that specific group of actually attacks that definitely Vicente can actually talk more about this part to us.
Great. Vicente, anything to add to that or any comments?
No, I mean, for us, the collaboration has been amazing. I mean, there's as Arash alluded at the beginning, there's a lack of data available for testing, for research. That was one of the first challenges that I found, and through came across with one of the data sets. We started conversing, and one thing led to another. We ended up in a very positive collaboration, which as he also mentioned, that we have another one in the works. I think that that definitely fills a gap, and I think it's helps us feed the experience that we have from the real world, and have a scientist look at them a little bit more in depth. DDoS was a good case for us because, I mean, cPacket is not per se a security company. I mean, we care about the network health, performance, and such. And DDoS is the perfect attack that is going to impair a network in some way. So from having just a few types of DDoS attacks, now we have a wider universe of things that we can use internally. And even cPacket is quite involved in projects with like capstones with other universities who are also using the data sets that were generated. So it's kind of like a mushrooming effect, and it's nice to share the knowledge and learn.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Vicente. And I'm sure, Arash, you wouldn't mind me saying that if any of my competitors are interested in working with you and partnering, I'm sure you'd be happy to have conversations with them too, as you kind of continue to expand your industrial connections.
Thank you so much for highlighting, but please remember that we have an NDA always that we are going actually to sign that one, and we are considering the privacy, issues with the industry partners that we have. But we are receiving several requests from different industries, not just one,
Great.
from the different domains that they want to focus on the specific issues that they are facing, especially with their customers and clients. And they are asking us that how, we can actually work on the co-development of those, especially AI-based, AI-powered solutions, and also creating some data sets for actually training and testing their solutions.
No, that's excellent. And as I say, it's a part of growing the strength of the whole industry to help us be on the front foot rather than always feeling that we're on the back foot. So in terms of the future, Arash, what are we going to do next? What are you seeing from your vantage point, cybersecurity and the whole UCS program? What's next? How can we? What are we going to see from you and the team?
So actually, to be honest, one of my main primary goals for the UCS is to expand it for the adaptability of addressing the different, type of cybersecurity issues that we are facing in different disciplines. The dynamic actually nature that we have, the sophisticated version of them. So in somehow jumping to the more complex actually projects that going to help more, disciplines be involved. And also trying to in somehow emerging the new technologies such as AI, such as blockchain, such as quantum computing and others. So they are creating, the new actually gates for us that we need to create the analyzers for that one, data sets, books, blogs, running the workshops and others. And also thinking about the global accessibility that we already discussed about it here, which the main actually concern for me is going to be the multilingual actually resources that I can provide it as a package, as a UCS package for for the community, and this is not going to be possible except if we have the partners from the different countries, actually from industries, even from government, private, public sectors, to give hands to us to have a better package. And I hope that one day this is going to be the main actually source for anybody who wants to work in cybersecurity, from junior to the seniors, to actually open the UCS first, get some idea from the area that they want to work, and then start it from there, instead of starting from scratch for any type of research that they are starting.
Fantastic. Sounds like a great goal, good kind of North Star kind of direction. So that's excellent, Arash. And
Thank you.
glad we had a few minutes to kind of connect on this today. So in terms of listeners, hopefully there's listeners of all types listening into this recording. How can they become more involved? Is there I assume there's a website. I'll put that linked in the show notes below. But how else can folks be involved with the program?
So I can summarize that. To be honest, I should say that everybody were involved in this process with me on the last 2 decades. Because when I started to create a data set, I received so many emails. I can tell you that every day I'm actually receiving between 20 to 30, sometimes even 40 plus emails per day that they are asking about, do you have this type of data set? Do you have any idea about this analyzer? Do you have any idea about this model? So in somehow, I think we are well named, in this area, but we still need to actually make it more broad, that the researchers from, across the world actually be more familiar with the resources that we have or generating. So not only the website, running the contest is going to be another actually technique that we are using, to broadcast whatever we had, the books that we are publishing, the workshops that we are running. And in somehow, I can say there are so many websites that we can use it for sharing the data, such as Kaggle or GitHub or others, that we are using all of them to make it more actually public, that what do we have. Whenever we had a new actually resource, a new package, so we are going to release that one in our LinkedIn web page. We are highlighting in the website. We are releasing a media, actually, I don't know, some press kits for that ones. So we are using different techniques to actually help the researchers to find these type of the available resources, faster. And I can say the top actually benefit or advantage of the UCS is everything is free and is available. You just need to come to the website, send a request, put your email, your name, your university name or industry name, and we are going to give everything to you free. So we face that there are so many publications, so many solutions, that the algorithm is not available, or the data is not available, or I don't know, the code is not available. But for us, this package, everything is publicly available. And we are trying, by actually sharing the information in different websites, try to make it more public, actually, for the more public, and then easily to be accessed by the users.
Wow. Well, that's I think it's safe to say, Arash, that even in this conversation, I've learned even a lot more about the program, which has been great. I'm sure that folks who have been listening or have taken snippets out of this video, I'm sure will be appreciating all of the work that you and the team have been doing. And certainly, I look forward to sharing some of the links and all of those pieces with everyone. And I look forward to cPacket and your team collaborating more over the next couple of years, as you mentioned. So that is really excellent.
Thank you so much. So let's pin our calendar for another year, to have another version of this podcast with something.
I'm super happy. End of year 25. I look forward to hearing all about
Okay,
it, and
sure.
I'm sure
Yeah,
Vicente can
likewise
put
here.
this on the
Thank you so
calendar.
much, actually, Indian. Thank you so much, Vicente. Thanks for having me. And I hope that we are going to have the new version of the package in the other years, and one after another we release it. I'm so excited that I'm actually sharing these resources with the community, and hopefully we will receive the feedback from the community and improve whatever we are actually creating and delivering here.
Well, that's really great. Just one last thing to say. Feel free to look up cPacket.com or look me up on LinkedIn if you'd like to do that, or obviously click on the links that we've provided below this video so that you can actually keep following up with what Arash and the team are doing. And once again, look for more of these videos in the coming weeks and months. Thanks very much to everyone for listening, and have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice one. Bye-bye.
Bye.